When I moved into a new neighborhood, I hoped it would be a safe and peaceful place for my family, especially my daughter, who is autistic. She finds joy in simple routines, like drawing with chalk on the sidewalk or humming while walking around our yard. Unfortunately, our homeowners association president, a woman who constantly looked for reasons to complain, decided my daughter's behavior was suspicious and disturbing to the community. One afternoon, while my daughter was outside quietly sketching on the driveway, the HOA president called the police, claiming that a strange person was trespassing and refusing to leave. My daughter, confused and overwhelmed by the flashing lights and stern voices, froze in fear. By the time I arrived home, the officers were already questioning her harshly, not realizing she was a child with special needs. I calmly stepped forward, identified myself, and presented my credentials as a U.S. Marshal. The officers instantly backed down, embarrassed that they had been misled. The HOA president, however, crossed her arms and said she was just doing her duty to protect the neighborhood. I firmly explained that her ignorance and prejudice nearly traumatized an innocent child and wasted law enforcement resources. I reminded her and the officers that individuals with autism deserve understanding, not suspicion. The officers apologized, and one even took the time to reassure my daughter, showing her kindness instead of hostility. The HOA president, however, stood in stunned silence as the community members who had gathered began to murmur in disapproval of her actions. In that moment, she realized that her attempt to control others had only exposed her lack of compassion. From that day forward, many neighbors became more supportive and protective of my daughter, ensuring she felt safe and welcomed. The moral of the story is that rushing to judge others, especially those with disabilities, can cause harm and division, while compassion and patience create stronger, kinder communities. True authority is not shown by controlling others through fear, but by protecting the vulnerable and standing for what is right.